John, the military street justice man, has an entire platoon full of men and women. Gert's there as well. To be introduced. His own little class. And he shows them a documentary. Let me give you a little history what just inspired this. I've been talking to a place that gets a lot of money to assist folks moving from hospital environments. Spent a year and a half at Burlington Convalescent Hospital. Yeah, I'm not. The fact part here, not getting that year, not getting that first 93 check there either at the hospital. Watching folks over the top and the need for John, military street justice, mean fictional parables like this. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter and Mary. And a place that does a lot of work doing that supposedly. Or at least maybe they got a nice under the table kind of thing. They're being taunting as hell, over the top as hell. Well, with me, John Melton Brady. Incompetent, pretending to be incompetent, simply telling me again and again to call up Social Security and ask for what they can't give me. What this bitch, there's no other word for her. She's Lori. Personal knife in the back from Louisiana, that obvious. Keeps telling me to call up to the Social Security and get them to give me what I will get from disability when I'm no longer living at assisted living here in Shitwood, Lauriewood, California, Linwood. And it can't, same damn thing over and over again to be intensely annoying. It has to do with the folks of the moment in for that flush. They had a really painful one last night and they're following up on it today. These folks on the unseen business, you can call it whatever you want, guys. It's those dangerous pit bulls, military pit bull project is having to address. And these folks are going down hard, and because, yeah, this is the streets, guys. The missile silos are part of the military streets. And they can't manage a goddamn call on a metro phone. They can't keep the pieces of living shit from affecting it. So John's going to have to get down and dirty. Stone cold one and only John Melton Brady because of the Linwood mistake. I'm going to ramble on. I always give you that part of how to cut through it all. But yeah, you can cut through it right now. Just have that phone ring with the right folks there. Yeah, we got your nice Lancaster studio. Yeah, the day without the help of the Burlington Convalescent Hospital, very obvious Lori-like folks, or yeah, the name of the place, Libertana. Without the help of them, rolled around downtown LA to assemble the bank account statements, the Social Security card, and then you got to move out of here. The day I got back with that. So they're just being over the top obvious, and it always gets back to that being obvious as hell about the threatening of your family. Okay, I'll take the real part right now. All you military folks worldwide, military bases in the U.S. or abroad, you call me up right now, 424-229-4140. I'm John Melton Brady. I'm Stone Cold, son of the carpenter and Mary. John Melton Brady is the name. Make that video of your hijack call to me from that military base. What you get when you don't get me. You can also call up Vista Veranda here, where they're being over the top with a nice little flush of the streets. I was overhearing someone in the hallway last night saying, this man, yours truly, is talking to the military. They know what he means by those streets. Half the folks, the Mormons, in and out of this place, revolving door hourly sometimes. Half of them work for the streets, don't know what he's talking about. It's true. And you can bet on it, guys. I'm calling down the meanest from the four corners of the earth to solve this problem. And yeah, all cops in LA, in California, state, county, local, especially the nice ones, doing it for the right reasons. The right reasons. In the way of attractive blonde girls starting to build a price complex right here. They're going to make for some historic, I mean, not just hanging by those balls, those bells. You got them in trouble, but bouncing around on them. That mean street fiction. Chemical pain. They're going to make some historic. They got the best health care plan around. I talked to a whole bunch of them on the phone just now. Got the best health care plan around. They're not going anywhere. They're going to protect those Christ complexes. Make that video of your hijacked calls and mail. That's always where this mean, attention-getting, rambly fiction ends. 424-229-4140. Look up the Vista Brand. I intend to move quickly. I was talking to whoever on the Social Services, Social Security one from Glendale. They were trying to be bizarre and taunting, calling the name of the woman that I talked to. Very similar to a name of a Lori bitch from the convalescent hospital. They're being that over-the-top obvious about conducting the amateur methods. And I asked, well, what can you give me a ballpark area where I have to check into a shelter to eat? I have to roll 2 miles to get a burger. I use up half that burger that's rolling down there and back. If I do that, generally what I do, what will I get? What will I have to go into the Social Security office downtown LA? And she just flat hung up on me, or was cut off one. These folks here are being obvious as hell, and they're going to scream obvious as hell. In my mean street fiction, you make sure everyone, all your military worldwide, do that real stuff. 424-229-4140. Asking for 7 years, haven't gotten one Semper Fi check, 193 check. You document what you're not fighting for them to threaten your family back home. Those thinking about placing whoever in office next. Remember, they placed Barack Hussein Obama in office to slap the face of all good folks of the world. Yeah, that soon after 9/11. You got someone with names that sound like he's on the rolls of those terrorists in 9/11 being placed in office. Didn't even grow up in America. Grew up in Africa. Google him. Check him out. Make that video of your hijacked calls and mail. This is the streets. Powers that be don't want you to make that video. Powers that be don't want it to be news. It's not going to be news. But yeah, worst kept secret on the streets, one and only John Milton Brady. Just the walls and walls of the amateurs revolving around is the only thing that's intimidating. Folks like you in the military want to be a part of that vast opportunity. Protect your family with the Christ complex, not even just the bricks and mortar, just the name. That's the only thing preventing just the waves and waves of amateurs of the streets. You're the one slapping everybody in the face doing that. 9/11 was religious censorship. All those Obamas, those Husseins, those Baracks, those Muammars, all those getting on playing with their twisted version of religion. That was religious censorship. And this, we can talk about the streets all day. It just refers to folks committing fraud, being corrupt, organized crime. That's religious censorship. You can't call me. Guys over there and overseas, here, stationed here, When you or your family calls 424-229-4140, can't reach me, you don't know when else your phone won't be allowed to work, that's religious censorship. You can't call me up, tell me what you believe. Can't ask what I mean by the Christ complex. Jesus' house here. As they're just being over the top, obvious as those amateurs, those, oh, damn, glory bitches can be. Bitches and son of bitches. Realize there's going to be a lot of mean stuff. And that's what John does. He shows that example of Chris. And Chris is obvious as hell. He's like what I just talked to on the phone, being presented to me. Knew they were taunting, being bitchy as hell about it. Chris works as a nurse in a hospital, and he's taken part. Military, this is my little fictional thing here, but you can draw lines to something very real. Denying pain medicine to kids in a burn unit, taunting their family in the fashion I just saw, trying to get the repetitive stupidity of what that woman keeps telling, the same broken records. Chris, the sensory side of beef, he's telling the family, well, if you were just more compliant, if you just were cooperative with the Obama folks. And by now he means the ones they're going to place in office next. Well, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. They're being that obvious today, guys. You don't like my fiction? You do a real children's burn unit check of your phone. 424-229-4140. You tell your families back home. Every governor, every mayor, every senator, every reporter, every cop. Make that call. 424-229-4140. Semper Fi. Video, call it. You got to be the reporter. Do it for all those network news anchors. Pass it along at church, at work, at school, on flash drive, on DVD. Tell them we're taking America back. And yeah, you come see me, guys. It's all out war with is the incompetence of the street. We need military. Folks, right here. Put those attractive blonde, near blonde girls here. Pave the way as we build. Protect what we build. And that's what Don's doing. He's got a platoon of folks. And it's not just for Chris. It's for Leon. See, Leon was too nice to Chris, and he cut him slack because he was part of the military, or before he went to his nursing job. And so Leon is hanging by those balls of steel. He's one of Olin's, those called down for the cop, every single one. Ever said the wrong thing about Stone Cold, building this Christ complex, and introduced to him personally, that kind of thing? He's got those scissors, let's go, and Olin, and the whole Mel, and a whole lot of others, John, in the desert on the way to that mean place. Hell on earth. You got to retool a lot of folks of the streets. The shit I just saw on the phone tells me they've got way too much folks, way too much time on their hands. Way too many resources done. If I want to upload this, I got to stop it. I got to keep it under 15 minutes. You know where the fact part starts. 424-229-4140. Make that video today. Tell your families back home to do it. Pass it along. That's always where Stone Cold Mean Street Fiction ends. I just had a bitch taunt me on the phone. Again. Same things he did last week. Document, come see me. Let's start building. Look for a hell of a lot of main stuff. They have a parade of county cards in front of me every day. Helicopters as well, of folks on their way. Those mean places. Thumbs up, Olin. Go into production.